Chapter 2. Show Me My Purpose. I Am Somebody Because God Don't Make No Junk by Ethel Waters from the book His Eye is on the Sparrow. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I dedicated you. Jeremiah 1:5. In the initial stages of my formation as a religious sister from 1998 to 2002, I was sent for 3 years with many other postulants and novices to our mission in Subiaco, Italy, which is just outside the city of Rome. Hundreds of years before, Saint Benedict had fled to this countryside to escape the depravity of the city. We had many interesting adventures during our stay, and I found Italians and their culture to be deeply beautiful. Our time there brought us many challenges, but many hidden treasures as well. During 1 year, I accompanied one of our sisters into Rome twice a week because she needed physical therapy to recover from a serious injury. While she was at her appointments, I would sometimes roam about the surrounding neighborhoods. One afternoon, I stumbled upon the Church of San Luigi dei Francesi. Entering, I saw many people walking around looking at the architecture and art, but something in the far corner of the church caught my attention. A light kept blinking on and off, and a lot of people were gathered in that area, gazing at something that I couldn't see from the church entry. Keenly interested, I walked toward the gaggle of people who were quietly whispering to one another while looking at the wall. When I arrived at the spot, I saw that the object of everyone's interest was the original Caravaggio painting, The Calling of Saint Matthew. Again, that's Caravaggio or Caravaggio painting, The Calling of Saint Matthew. It took my breath away. I stood transfixed by the utter beauty, power, and stillness of that incredible work of art. The only thing that astonished me more than the painting was the fact that the light shining upon it was operated by a coin machine, so you could only see the painting for a few minutes at a time after inserting some coins into the slot. During one's meditation and study of the painting, the light would often go out, and then people in the crowd would have to rummage in their pockets to produce more coins. Only in Italy would a great work of art be illuminated by a coin operated light. I returned to that church day after day to gaze at the painting, and even now it still pierces my heart to see it. This, trans- this transcendent work of art was created by my favorite artist, Michelangelo Merisi da Caravaggio. Again, the name of the artist is Michelangelo Merisi da Caravaggio or Caravaggio. He was a brilliant but troubled soul who was gifted beyond measure, but who struggled with his fallen humanity in his entire life. In fact, he spent the last few years of his life in an exile because he murdered someone in a bar fight. I love the play of light and darkness in his paintings, the earthiness of his subjects, the raw humanity revealed for all to see. How could something so beautiful come from the hands of a man so broken? How does beauty still forth from us who are so imperfect? Where does this beautiful love come from? In the last chapter, we quoted the Catechism's definition of human person, which contains two important truths: that every human person possess the nobility of being made in the image and likeness of God, being his sons and daughters, and the human person is someone, not something. This truth has amazing consequences. It means that the human person is never to be used as a means to someone else's end. It means that all people deserve to be loved for who they are, not for what they do or for whatever pleasure they provide for others. Pope John Paul II writes, anyone who treats a person as the means to an end and does violence to the very essence of the other. We must never treat a person as a means to an end. We instinctively dislike being used by other people and have a natural distaste for people who try to use us. This reality can easily be seen in kids. At the after school daycare where I worked for many years, we had time to set aside every day for homework and study. Some of the kids worked very hard on their homework, and they did not want other students to copy their work or steal their answers. It was not uncommon to see the kids play tall barriers around their homework so others could not copy their answers. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. It was not uncommon to see the kids place tall barriers around their homework so others could not copy their answers. If we do not like to be used for homework, we certainly do not like being used for darker purposes. Much of the brokenness we see in the world today is the result of human beings using one another as a means to an end, rather than loving the other person and upholding the dignity and beauty of that person, who is made in the image and likeness of God. Sometimes the brokenness masquerades as progress, choice, or freedom, but the fruit is always the same: more brokenness. Even if we struggle for love in broken ways that result in using one another in our hearts of hearts, we want to be loved for who we are, not merely for what we give others or what we do for others. Maybe all of us have had the experience of being used by someone else in big or small ways, and it leads our hearts to cry out. Doesn't anyone see me for who I am and love me for who I am? Part of the desire to love and to be loved comes from the fact that we all want to be happy. That is the natural desire of human heart. Saint Augustine writes, we all want to live happily in the whole human race. There is no one who does not assent to this proposition, even before it is fully articulated. We do what we do, for better or for worse, because we want to be happy, and we are meant as human beings to love and to be loved. Choosing true and authentic love of God, ourselves, and others will lead us to happiness. Choosing disregard of God, lust, and use of others will only lead to unhappiness. There really are only two options: serve God and live in authentic love, or serve the evil and live in selfishness. This whole life on earth is a battle of between these two choices. Before I entered religious life, I thought I had loved the boyfriends I had dated. Looking back on those many years, though, I see that I was mostly interested in serving myself and having my emotional needs gratified at their expense. I dressed immodestly to get the attention of men, having no concern about how my provocative behavior might affect their earthly and eternal destiny. I wasn't concerned about the plan God had for the lives of these men or for my own life. My brokenness was manifested in selfishness and self centeredness.